And another thing, stop posting them fake ass remote jobs. Where the real shit at? I don't want to see that Netflix movie watcher, FedEx, customer service remote, all this other. Where the real shit at? Put me on.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
I need people to think more critically, like really use their brains more. Because if I turn on the news and hear one more person talk about how remote workers need to come back to the office because businesses in large cities near office spaces are suffering, I'm gonna lose my mind. Because you see this piece of cake that I'm about to eat right now? That particular piece of cake would never be possible to eat right now if I didn't work remotely. Because I used to never be able to go to my local coffee shop and get a piece of cake like that on my break because I was stuck in Manhattan having to buy overpriced everything in the city. Now I can go to my local Main Street and get local food, and every time I do go to those local places, they're popping. They used to be empty. Now everybody and their mama's there. So why don't we reframe the conversation? And instead of talking about how businesses in big cities are suffering, how about we talk about how small businesses and local businesses are actually thriving? What about that?
I hate working from home. It's made me so antisocial, so introverted. I don't get to socialize with anyone in real life. I'm literally just a homebody. I stay home all the time, 24/7. I don't go anywhere. It's literally ruined my life. I have to find a different adventure. Said me never. I can't believe I've actually seen people on here say that about working at home. I get it. It's not for everyone. Like, that's okay if it's not for you, but like, it shocks me every time I hear someone say that, because for me, being able to work remote changed my life. This is like my dream environment. I am a homebody at my core. I'm an introvert and I love it. I love not having to, I can wake up and literally do my work in my robe if I wanted after my shower. Like, not having to be surrounded by people in an office, like an annoying office setting, is my dream, and I will never take this job for granted. I am blessed every single day that I get to do this, and I would never, ever complain. Because I just love to just count my blessings, and I'm so grateful always. So whenever I hear someone say that, it's a little bit like, oh, just remember someone would dream to be in that position. So try not to complain too much. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can complain if it's not for you and you need the socialization at an office job, but just remember, someone out there would dream of having that position that you have.
The hardest part about remote work is knowing when to stop working for the day. I always thought people were lying about that. It's like, okay, you're done working for the day, like just shut your laptop, it's not that hard. But now that I'm fully remote, I'm realizing there's so many situations where it's actually really hard. Like yesterday, my boss scheduled the meeting at 4:30 p.m. And first of all, the meeting was only supposed to be 4:30 to 5 and then ended up running over by about 35 minutes. So I didn't finish until like 5:35. And then in that meeting, she gave me multiple projects that I needed to work on, one of which was actually pretty urgent. She was like, okay, first thing tomorrow, like you got to start on this. I unfortunately have anxiety. So I'm like, if I know I'm gonna need to get this done first thing tomorrow morning, I might as well just like do it right now while it's still fresh in my brain from what we talked about in the meeting. And that's the other thing, is that I'm still pretty new in this role. So it's like whenever we talk about a project I need to work on, I want to start it right away while the details are still like fresh in my mind. And then it's like with the project from yesterday, once I started working on it, I was like, oh, it's actually not going to take me that long. So I should just finish it all right now so that I don't have to worry about it tomorrow morning. So I ended up spending like another hour and a half on it and then was finished for the day. So I guess now that I'm doing it, I understand why it's hard to not have a commute, like not have a distinction between home and work. So that's what I'm going to try to work on going forward, like how to create that distinction and just like turn my brain off.
Okay, does anyone else have low-key anxiety when you go into a coffee shop and you actually have to get work done? Because like, what are the chances that there's going to be a table open, and then what are the odds that the table has an outlet close enough? Because I know for sure that my computer will die, and then like you're in line to get the coffee, but there's no table, so you feel obligated to buy like a $7 coffee that you could have just made at home because you have to kind of go home now because there's no table open. Or is that just me?
You know what pissed me off in customer service? A customer will get on the phone with you yelling, I spoke to 6 agents before you. They keep telling me the same thing. Are you actually able to help? Are you actually... You spoke to 6 motherfuckers before me? They told you the same thing 6 times? Why the fuck Are you still calling? Lose our number, nigga. We can't help you.
You have to be a different type of strong to be a CSR. And as you can see, I've lost my voice from using it so frequently on a daily basis with these people. It's not only mentally deteriorating and draining, but you have to deal with that same mental deterioration from QAs and TLs as well. Oh, and of course they're going to tell you, oh, you can reach out to chat for help, but when you do, you're helpless. Nobody's there. Oh, let's talk about how everything in the industry is actually backwards. They tell you, oh, you should take mental days when you're not feeling up to it, but the minute you take a mental day, it's a problem. And then the same people that tell you not to take some of the calls personal will be the same ones that haven't even taken a single phone call their entire shift. I don't know about y'all, but I've gained so much thick skin just working in this industry. Like, I've gained so much patience. I've gained so much self-control, because that's the one thing that they do not tell you beforehand. You have to have a lot of self-control because you're dealing with adult toddlers. And these people will drain the entire life out of you if you allow it. If you take that energy from work and bring it home with you, which we already work at home, so it's crazy to say that, but y'all get the gist. But just know you're a very strong person if you're working in this field right now, because it's not for the weak or the faint-hearted or the sensitive. Like, I was a sensitive person before I came into this role. I've been desensitized of all my sensitivity because I used to cry, people say certain hurtful things, and now I just sit there and take it. And I'm like, okay, yep, understand your frustration. Next customer. Like, is that how it is? It's like the longer you work in the field, the more you become a rock and more you become heartless. Like, let me know what y'all think in the comments. I gotta see if I'm going crazy or if this is a real feeling.
Why is the heart of our society so anti-progressive? Seriously, like, okay, COVID happened, and now COVID is over. But then when COVID happened, we started working from home, and we've been doing that for a couple of years, and we realized that, wait, this actually works, and we can actually work from home and be productive, do our work, and then now they won't take that away from us. Like, why? Like, it's working. Like, I don't understand, like, why they feel the need to take that away from us. Like, if that is not very anti-human, anti-progressive, I don't know what it is really. Like, can someone explain to me? Can someone make it make sense? Tell me why we have to be so anti-progressive as a society. Seriously, because, like, why can't we just adapt to the times?
Earlier today, I received an email that they are ending remote work at my agency and mandating an in-work posture with full compliance by March 3rd. I don't know what that means. No details have been given as to what compliance looks like, whether that's forcing us all back to DC or finding offices in the cities that we live in. I am in a different time zone than DC. I'm a supervisor, and my team is in 3 different time zones. We have never been in DC. I personally have lived in DC when I was with a different agency, but since being at this agency, my whole department is remote and almost half my agency is remote. There are no buildings for us in DC. They can put us on the floor. Like, I don't know where they're putting us. And I don't know how putting us in a different agency's office just to give us a desk is a solution. The stress on my body is not helping with the IVF that we're trying to go through. I'm still in the student loan forgiveness program, so I wasn't planning to leave federal service. And I'm spiraling out of control as to what my life is going to look like in the next couple weeks because of these mandates.
It be the employers paying the least, requiring and requesting the most, and being extra. Like, a couple years ago, I worked for this company. I worked remotely as a verification specialist, but it was a verification specialist for background checks, for employment verification, for education verification. The fucking boss said, if you have kiddos, maybe put them in daycare, because when mine comes in, I'm like, mommy's working, get out. Like, okay, bitch, so you as a boss are not required to put your son or your kid in daycare, but me as a verification specialist making $14 an hour, you expect me to do that. I had a denial specialist position, $16 an hour. At first, they started me off with 30 accounts a day. After 2 days, 32 accounts a day. After 3 days, 35 accounts a day. And if I made 34, 33, 32, you know what they did? Gave me the next 2 days off. gave me the next 2 days off. If I didn't meet my productivity for the day by 1, by 2, they would give me the next 2 days off. Oh, and we had to be logged on our phones, on Teams and on Outlook. That way they can contact you at any time. And whenever she wrote, it don't matter if it was 9 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. If the boss wrote, you had to respond. And then, of course, the one I just left because they wanted me to ask to use the bathroom, they were paying $19 an hour, which is a little better. But you did not see the work and the stress that these two girls that me and the other new girl were shadowing, you didn't see that shit. You didn't see the look on their face. You didn't see how miserable one looked, how much work they had because they were down 3 reps. I will quit each and every time because I've worked jobs paying $22.50, $23.50, $24, $25.50, and not one of those jobs micromanaged. And I'm only a high school graduate. I dropped out of college in like a week. Oh, and another thing, if you are paying $14 to $23 an hour, you shouldn't be requiring a bachelor's degree. You shouldn't be putting on your job post, bachelor's degree preferred. Because nobody that went to college said, I'm going to be a customer service representative and get fucking cursed out all day. Literally nobody ever.
When I tell people that I hate working from home, they always just are surprised. And some people even take that to mean that I think other people shouldn't work from home. That's not what I'm saying. When I say I hate working from home, I'm saying that I hate working from home. And that's not to say that other people can't work from home. I genuinely hate working from home. It feels like I get nothing done. And then I also work 10 times harder than I would if I would just go to the office. Now, only reason why I'm working from home today is because I have no other choice. Them people said the office is closed today. Y'all gonna have to work from home. But otherwise, I would be in that office. And then I'm starting to think I should have still just went because at the end of the day, I have 24-hour access. And honestly, the weather wasn't that bad to even close the office in the first place. But when I tell you, I want to pull my hair out because what fresh hell is, only thing I can think about is the fact that my cat keep rubbing up on my foot. People are emailing me and asking me to do stuff that is literally not possible without being in the office. Like, somebody's emailing me about some damn floor plans. Physically go to those floor plans. And then because my are not even in AutoCAD, what the hell am I supposed to do? Like, and then I just feel like my space is not my house. Like, I prefer my house to just be my house and my job to just be my job. It's too much co-mingling. Like, I hate working from home.
This is for all people who work from home or think that work from home is the best thing in the world. Working from home is not always the best thing in the world. A lot of times these work from home jobs will micromanage you, or they'll expect more out of you and not try to pay you what you are worth at that time. And it's something that I've experienced. A lot of times these jobs could care less about if you're leaving today or if you're coming or if you're going, because at the end of the day, there's going to be another training class. You will be replaced. So don't give your all into these work at home jobs if they're not paying you what you're worth. A lot of these jobs will underpay you and expect for you to have 100% attendance, show up each and every day, do your absolute best and meet your metrics. And it's like, you're not even getting the support you need. You're not even getting the money you need. So make sure if you are staying at a job that's not paying you enough, know your worth and know that you can find something better and continue to look for another job.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
I honestly don't know why companies are so confused by this idea of remote work, hybrid work, or in the office. Like this person says, it just needs to be a choice. What people want nowadays in jobs is flexibility. I don't want to have to call my boss and say, hey, can I take off because I need to go to the doctor's office? Or, hey, can I take off because something unexpected happened? Hey, can I take off? There's a global pandemic. People want flexibility. They want to be able to live their lives. The companies that understand this, the companies that are able to create environments where people can actually be adults are going to win the war for talent. Because when it comes to hybrid, in the office, working from home, working remotely, it's not like where you work that matters. It's, do you have to ask permission for where you want to work? If you need to get work done at home, do you have to ask? And that's what it comes down to. That's what trust is. And to me, if you hire somebody, you need to be able to trust them to make their own decision on where they should work. It's super basic. I mean, I don't need to ask if I need to go to the bathroom, right? But the reality is some companies can just not get over this, and it just completely baffles me.
This is such a conversation that like a lot of people that are also digital nomads, they're probably not going to agree with me, but let me tell you, like, this is how I feel. I know everybody loves to romanticize the work from anywhere life, but let's be real. It is not always sunset and laptop on the beach. As a traveling content creator and digital nomad for the past like 3 years, let me be honest, it is not. It is a lot. I've worked in cafes, tiny little airports, little hotel rooms, or sometimes even really nice hotel rooms. Trying to work in this area, sometimes it's a lot. Like sometimes the Wi-Fi is not working right. The content is just not contenting. Like it's a lot trying to edit and work at the same time while you're traveling. It's a lot. Creativity needs stability. Like it really does. And this is something that I had to realize while doing this. Like my creativity really needs stability. Whenever I would have, like before I started my whole journey and I had my apartment, I feel like my content was actually better. I feel like not having the stability for my creativity is probably like one of the hardest things. Like being able to just go left and right, getting on airplanes. I just feel like my creativity is all over the place. Like my content is not really hitting because I know I'm going from one place to the other. Like I don't have, like, this is just my rant right now. Like it's not having that stability. I feel like my content is hurting because of it. Traveling inspires me. Like it makes me have better content, but I just feel like returning home is actually where the real magic happens. When I'm actually coming home. It's not when I'm traveling. It's when I'm actually home. You know, like when I can actually sit down and have good Wi-Fi. I just feel like I can come up with better content. Like when I'm just all over the place, all over the world, like. But if you're also feeling this type of way, let me know in the comments below if you agree with me, because I know I'm not alone.
She is absolutely right. I was in San Juan, Puerto Rico in early January of this year, and it was hard to just like work and having to plan what you will do in that new area and stuff like that. And I have a friend who lives there right now, and just having the time to spend time with her and stuff like that. It's just a lot going on, you know.
I'm done playing, and I'm so for real this time. Y'all about to start seeing my black ass more on here, because the mandate that Governor DeWine put out as of Tuesday, talking about some all state employees need to go back to work in office full time. Who finna do that? Not I, because I like my remote days. Okay, so they're saying that we might have to start working back in the office full time, starting sometime in March, if it actually goes through. So they're trying to figure out if that like applies to us. When I tell you,
just a little quick rant why I hate my job. So my job is very like, every call is monitored. Your time that you're on the call, how fast you take the call, I guess, and how much you spend after the call. You get, mind you get 3 minutes, but no, you'll have to be under the 3 minutes, or not even use your 3 minutes, right? And I'm like, bro, like to try to get some assistance, I try to do some put some stuff in the chat so they can help me with it. No, now they want us to do everything ourselves, so just keep the agent waiting. So our longs are prolonged now. Mind you, they don't do nothing. All those people in the chat do is nothing. They review shit because they're bored. They review calls. It's like, it's so annoying. Like, I'm just over it. I'm really rich.
Everybody these days wants a remote job, but not as many people are talking about the toxicity that's bred from working remotely. So imagine having Zoom meetings or any other kind of remote meeting, one-on-one with your manager. There's no transparency. Interacting with coworkers in DMs. Somebody can tell you something and that just not be visible. The only way that you can get HR to take note of it is by telling HR. And a lot of times that's difficult for people. When you work on site, there's a lot of transparency, a lot of visibility. You can see how people interact with one another.
You all know I post a lot of stuff about my like work from home life, and I posted a video the other day that was kind of complaining about the fact that I have to go into the office 2 days a week, and I got this comment that was like, it's only 2 days a week. And I get it, like outwardly it seems really annoying to be complaining about having to go into the office 2 days a week. A lot of people have a lot worse situations, and I know like so much of every industry is really pushing for people to go back into the office. So I get that this is what is normal, but is it normal? Do you know what I mean? Like, we have to remember to question these things that have been the way that they are for such a long time. Just because something has been that way doesn't mean that that's the right way for things to be. I know this probably sounds a little bit woo-woo for some of you. A lot of the way things are systems that are created to hold us back, to keep us in the positions that where we are, where we don't have any power. I don't know about y'all, but for me, going in 2 days a week is serious. It completely breaks up the flow of my work week and my life. When you work from home, you have complete control over your own time. And I know that's not the case for some companies that like monitor your activity, but you shouldn't be working for those companies anyway. When I'm at home in my own like focused environment and I'm feeling really productive that day, I can get out 2 to 3 days worth of the work that I would have done in the office, because if I were in the office, I would have commutes that are making me tired and stressed out, first of all. But second of all, I have people coming into my office talking to me all day long. Whereas at home, I get all this work done in a couple of days. And what that means is that on the other days when I don't have that same energy level, I can measure my own energy. I can still be available on my email from 9 to 5, but if my work is done, I can also on that day go take a walk, get some fresh air and sunlight, go to the gym mid-morning when it's actually like possible to use some of the equipment. I can take a shower in the middle of the day. I can maintain my household, which even in a small apartment is so difficult to do when you're balancing it with a job. Just the fact that I can take 10 minutes to unload my dishwasher and 10 minutes to go throw in my laundry in the basement while I'm working makes such a huge difference in just like the manageability and the balance of the way that life feels. And a lot of people will tell me, oh, I love going into the office because that's where I get my social interaction. That's where I get my community. And honestly, although I think that comes from a place of good intentions, that's actually probably really unhealthy. Your colleagues at work absolutely are a community, and there's nothing wrong with being friends with some of your colleagues. I have friends at work as well. But if your workplace is the only place where you're finding community in your life and the only place where you're socializing in your life, that can become extremely toxic, because that turns into that mentality of like, oh, my work is my family, my work is my community, and then you'll do anything for them. You're going to look past all of the red flags and you're going to keep working yourself into the ground until you're burnt out, because you'll do anything for your family. I don't need to go into an office for my community and my social life, because I find my community and my social life through the things that I love, like dance and poetry. So yeah, although maybe it is a privileged position to have an office job and to have a job where I only have to go in 2 days a week, doesn't mean that we should withhold ourselves from questioning the status quo and the way that things always are. And at the end of the day, I don't need to be in that office for anything. I've done my work extremely effectively. I have a pretty demanding job, and I've not only done it well, but I've improved it significantly and like created entirely new programs from home. There's no reason that I need to be sitting in an office anywhere. So like, let's just reflect on the facts. Commuting for multiple hours a day should not be normal. Going into an office during the second highest spike of COVID, where nobody cares and nobody's wearing masks or taking any precautions and are constantly coming in sick and coughing in your face, not normal. Not actually being able to get any of your work done because people are socializing with you all day and you're an introvert, so you go home feeling exhausted and not able to do anything else, not normal. Being super dysregulated because you're overstimulated and unable to control your environment, such as noise, temperature, air quality, etc., not normal. So if you're someone who wants a work from home job or is like fighting within your current job for more work from home days, I just want to validate you in the fact that we should be questioning a system that is keeping us tired and keeping us controlled and taking up hours and hours more than just the 9 to 5 throughout our day. We have to ask ourselves, what are we allowing to be taken away from us when we are spending our time not only commuting, but also getting ready in the morning to look presentable for an office, prepping our lunches for the week, and giving away all of our energy to this one thing, this one element of our life that doesn't and should not define us.
I'm a big fan of remote first work, especially like remote first in region, but I think that any company that is doing a remote first or distributed workforce should absolutely once a year pay whatever amount of money it takes to get every single member of their staff in the same place at the same time for like at least a couple of days. Remote first is amazing, like for so many reasons, but nothing, and I mean nothing, will replace those moments of like IRL connect.
You know, it's a struggle when you work from home and you don't want to get at the bed. Like, That's the purpose of working from home. I don't want to get up. Like, I don't want to. It's so mentally fucking draining. Everybody be like, oh, you're from home. You're at home, so it shouldn't matter. You're at home, it shouldn't matter. Shut the fuck up until your motherfucking ass get on these motherfucking calls and listen to people yell at you, curse at you, disrespect you, cry to you. Like, you never know what personality you're gonna get on that fucking phone. And then you gotta be micromanaged by wannabe ass motherfucking important people when just let me do my job and you do yours type shit, bitch. Like, I'm finna call in.
I have a question. I'm just trying to understand why companies feel the need to have remote workers come work in person twice a week, once a week, whatever the case is, attend monthly, semi-annual, annual meetings. I just am trying to understand, what is the benefit of this? If you figured out that over the last several years since the pandemic, that people can work virtually and do their job virtually, complete all the tasks and projects, whatever it is, okay? Even workshops and conferences, they're all online. What's the need for you to bring people into an office? For what? We've gone years without seeing each other, and guess what? We're fine. We're actually performing better than we were when we were in the office. So I just really want to understand this. Why are we doing this? Why are we forcing people in the office? Why are we forcing people to build relationships with their coworkers? Some of us really would just rather not. Some of us would just rather be on camera or off camera, okay? And not have to deal with what comes with being in person with some of y'all. Please, let's stop and get with the program. We can work remotely without ever seeing each other. I promise.
One thing I will never understand is a hybrid rule. Hybrid rule. It's like, it is either you are in person full time or you're fully remote. What is the point of hybrid, really? What's the point? It screws up everyone's workflow. For the whole time it's hybrid. What is the actual point? Choose either straight up in person and you have a set routine, or you just do it fully remote. Commit one or the other. Not hybrid. Come on now.
Can we just talk about like these companies that just think they just gonna micromanage or just be on your tailcoats like day in and day out just because you work from home? Now, I've said before, I've been with my current company for quite some time or whatever, and really not sure what's going on, but just the level of like micromanaging that they're attempting to do is for the bird. My opinion about that is, I was currently a supervisor and a team lead, and my thought process around that is, or was, if I have to micromanage someone to where I have to constantly see what they're doing or whatever, they don't need to be working. And when I say they don't need to be working, meaning, you know, you have a job to do, you know, you're here to do a job. So why do you as an adult need someone to micromanage? But let's just talk about the managers or the supervisors who just micromanage just because you think that's what you're supposed to do. And I'm not saying every manager or supervisor is like that. I'm just speaking from experience. But I'm seeing it more often where people are saying like, you know, they're being micromanaged. They have to get on camera. They have to like do all these things or whatever just because we're working from home. But again, if you don't trust this person working from home, why did you hire them to work from home? And I'm all about, you know, what's right, the rules and things like that or whatever. But I'm also about, I'm an adult, a full grown adult. I have been working since I was 15. I don't need you to micromanage me. And also, just because you want to be on camera don't mean I got to be on camera. Like, you're talking to me. So why do you need to see that I'm on camera? We don't have laptops, so you know I'm not away from my home working. So I'm just not sure like why it's just so much from supervisors and managers. Please do not get me started on the managers or the supervisors who shouldn't be managing or supervising a thing. Like, let's just start there. But the fact that you have these supervisors and managers that don't know their job, don't know how to do their team's job, don't know how to help their team, but want to micromanage. Once I start feeling like I'm being micromanaged, I'm being questioned, I'm being whatever, because at the end of the day, I know what type of employee that I am. I know my work ethic is very strong, very good. However, you not gonna be micromanaging me like I'm your child just because I'm working from home. Like, these companies are, I don't know what the word is exactly, but it's just like, okay, y'all talking about bringing everybody back into the office. Okay, and then what? And then what? I don't have a problem either way, working from home or going to the office, because at the end of the day, a job is a job. I have a job so I can take care of my kids and do what I need to do, but I'm not gonna work for a company or work under someone who constantly, micromanage, being on my coattails, messaging me every hour on the hour. Can I share my screen? Can I do this? Can I do that? No. No. If you need me to share my screen to explain to you what I'm doing, or you calling me about an issue or something and you have no clue what is even going on, girl, just go ahead and hang up. Just go ahead and hang up the call or whatever, because I promise you not gonna like my response. So I just feel like that because we are in a time now where we are remote and working from home, I just feel like these managers or whatever think like they can just hound you or, do all this or whatever because you're working from home. And regardless if I'm working in my robe or not, the work is still getting done. Regardless if I'm on camera or not, my work is still getting done. My work and other people's work is still getting done. So I just came on here to just give a rant because to have a little rant because, again, I'm at the end of the day, like, yeah, this is my job, whatever. I personally love my job. I like what I do. But I'm also not going to be treated like a child for my job or while working my job, because I'll quit. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
Can we talk about how the PTO feels like a scam at work from home jobs? Like, for real. Like, you're telling me I will earn 1.25 hours of PTO every 2 weeks. Every 2. So you're telling me I have to slave my life away for a month to get what? 2.5 hours? What am I supposed to do with that? Take a nap? And it's like, don't even think about using it, because apparently as soon as you apply for it, it's like applying for a mortgage. You put in a nice little request and all of a sudden management's coming and saying, we can't approve this because of business needs. What about my needs? What about my needs? Huh? What about that? Are you forgetting I'm a human being too? I got needs too. My family got needs. What they're telling us is that the business needs, right? They need me to burn out. Okay, cool. The thing, why do we have to give like a month's notice just for PTO? Like, that never made sense to me. So at the same time, they can cancel our PTO request last minute, right? Because of business needs. But at the same time, there's high cough. I mean, you can't take these days off. Hold up. My bad. Let me just reschedule my mental health. No problem. Let me just reschedule that. Like, let's not forget about the sneaky fine print where unused PTO does not roll over. So you're telling me we slaved all them hours just to not be able to use it, and now we got to start all over from square one and getting 1.25 hours every 2 weeks to where I'm getting 2.5 hours. So I have to slave here for 6 months just to get a vacation in? Are you serious? Not even a vacation, because think about it, 2 hours a month? What am I gonna do with that? I've just never understood the concept of losing PTO. Like, you tell me I worked all that year and now you're just gonna take it? Like, it's giving theft. It's giving theft. Like, and guess what? It gets better. We don't have 6 days at work from home. We don't have 6 days. You have to use your PTO for 6 days. So then you're sitting there deciding, do I rest while I'm sick, or do I force myself to work because I need time for Christmas? It's a lose-lose situation, but hey, the company wins. So everybody wins, right? Right?
Okay, remote workers. How do you do it? I left work 2 hours ago, told my boss I wasn't feeling good. Like, I tried to push through for so long, wasn't feeling good, said I'm gonna go home, work from home the rest of the day. It's been 2 hours working from home, and I'm going to lose my mind. Like, how do you just not strike up random conversations with your coworkers or just fill up your water bottle? I don't know. Like, I want to go back to the office for the last, few minutes of the day. This is my first time ever and last time doing this.
These jobs don't give a fuck about us. It's cold as shit, bro. It's snowing. It's about to snow 8 to 10 inches. Pause. Fuck, am I not home playing PS5 right now? People are actually leaving their house to come here. You're slipping and sliding the whole way through. Stay home. Jobs don't care if you're sick, you're missing a leg, your son just died. Bro, they don't give a fuck. They want you to come in. These jobs really don't care about their people, and it's crazy to me because they don't want to give you PTO. They don't want you to go on vacation. They don't want you to do shit. They get mad if you call out 3 times. It's 365 days in a year. We can't call out 3 times? Like, we love to be here. We love to come here and waste our time. We're only here for the money.
Last week, we had a really horrible snowstorm. It snowed here 3 to 5 inches of snow or something like that. And I called off of work. You can't pay me enough to risk my life, slipping and sliding, like he just said, to go into work for what? You can't pay me enough for that. The risk is not worth the actual reward. Yeah, so stay put, stay home right there. I'm not risking anything for these jobs anymore.
One of my pet peeves is that when you make it so freaking obvious that you didn't even read my entire email. What do you mean you don't understand that I attached the damn document below? I literally said in my email, I have attached the Excel sheet down below. Thank you. So don't come to me saying, oh, I can reach out to them for their... No, I already got it. I already sent it to you. Why did you not read it? Am I speaking a different language with you?
I work fully remotely in New York, and I've lived here for a little over 2 weeks now, and I have not gone to a co-working space. So it's 46 degrees out. It's gorgeous. I was like, okay, today's the day I'm gonna get out of my apartment. I did some research and I found this place in the East Village that had really great reviews for co-working. The whole reason I wanted to get out and co-work was to one, be around people, but also get out of my apartment. So at least I'm doing 50% of that. But the fact that I just came here, there's no one here, but the vibes are impeccable. But I'm realizing I just left my apartment to pay for a coffee, even though I had coffee at home, to still be alone.
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.